right, let's now welcome to the ring our co-main event participants. First, here is Lyndon King Arthur.
A big smile and the grand stage for a domestic warrior who's been a former Commonwealth champion and a world title challenger. Lyndon Arthur learned his skills in the famous old Collyhurst and Boston gym under the Mancunian legend Brian Hughes. He's guided these days by a former wonderful fighter, no-nonsense guy, Pat Barrett, and he's racked up 24 wins in 26 outings. He told me he's had the perfect 11-week camp for this as he enters into battle with his biggest rival as Declan Rice walks in just behind us. Everyone wants to be here tonight.
Yeah, they're all starting to take their seats now. But this man here, Lyndon Arthur, he needs to find something big. He needs to find shades of that first fight with Anthony Yarde if he's had any chance, because momentum is with the Londoner in this one.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Anthony, the Beast from the East, Yarde.
He looks all business, doesn't he? One of the most charismatic, fun, talented and popular fighters in British boxing today. The cool, hard-hitting, light heavyweight Anthony Yarde.
See me in the street and they call me I'm a line that sky that shit can't run out of our front. Repeat that bar, yeah, I'm what? Teenage, big man, killer MC, yeah, big man. With a back, slap that, and I'm still not taking no back.
He's won his last 3 after that defeat to Artur Beterbiev, and he's determined to remain a serious player in this fabulous light heavyweight brigade. He's 33 now. The East Londoner, he's always in the boxing news and still has world title ambitions. He's brilliant at his best. Will he, Barry, deliver something special tonight? He's that sort of fighter, isn't he?
He is. The big occasion belongs to Anthony Yarde, because he always seems to rise to the occasion. Coming off, I would say, one of the worst performances in his career in his last performance. He did win, but it was underwhelming, I would say. So he'll feel he has a point to prove now that he still has that star quality and that finishing prowess that really has been a forefront of his career.
Yarde takes in the crowd. Don't tell them he's an Arsenal fan, as is Frank Warren, his promoter to Arsenal. Big supporters in the ring, and their best player arguably right behind you, Darren.
Yeah, they are. But look, he is massively fired up for this Yarde. Really wants to put on a dominant display. Still annoyed about that first fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our co-main event. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship. Brought to you by Ring Magazine and SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. With Ben Shalom for Boxer, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Box Raw. In association with Frank Warren for Queensberry, Gold Star Promotions, Wasserman Boxing, and AY Promotions. Along with their great sponsors. Public Investment Fund, Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the National Airline of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Malaf Cola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Desert, NHC, Jacko, Arab National Bank, First Data, Sella, and SMC. A big thanks to those great sponsors. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Mick Collier, along with the World Boxing Association. President Gilberto Mendoza Jr., Supervisor Mariana Borisova, Timekeeper Mark Shannon. The three judges assigned will be Leszek Jankowiak of Poland, John Latham of England, and Giuseppe Portarone of Italy. Our referee in charge will be Steve Gray of England. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with pink and weighed in officially at 174.6 pounds. Coming to us from Manchester, England, he brings a professional record of 24 wins, 2 defeats, 16 of his 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former IBO light heavyweight champion of the world, Lyndon King Arthur. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with silver and weighed in officially at 174.2 pounds. Hailing from East London, England, he has a professional record of 26 wins, 3 defeats, 24 of his 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Currently ranked number 5 by Ring Magazine, he is the former 2-time world title challenger, Anthony the Beast from the East, Yarde.
Ruben Tavares just with the finishing touches
Okay,
for
boys,
Yarde.
for the call break, I expect you to take a step back. Don't deliberately throw punches around the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck, fellas.
A domestic boxing trilogy to be settled on this night of needle and grudge and pride as Anthony Yarde and Lyndon Arthur meet for the 3rd time. It's one apiece. December 2020, split decision to the man from Manchester. The Londoner got his revenge a year later in 4 rounds. What happens next? It's a fascinating one.
Seconds out, round 1.
It's been a brilliant British rivalry as they enter the 17th round that they've shared. They know each other so well, and who does that favour?
Well, I think we're going to see a very fast start from Anthony Yarde. Like I said, I mean, as I say, that was a beautiful jab, but having spoke to him in the week, he really is fired up for this. Again, that first fight, even though he got it right the second time, it still annoys him. He wants another win over Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon Arthur needs to get in a rhythm behind the jab. He's got to be disciplined with his footwork. Needs to be smart. Don't get greedy. Don't waste anything. Don't allow Yarde to throw the right hand over a lazy jab. Everything has to be on point.
For me, yeah, Arthur's got to try and, it's a lovely jab there from Arthur, but you've got to try and use it cleverly. So when Yarde mounts an attack, you've got to be brave enough to step in and step out with that jab, and that'll just start to frustrate Anthony Yarde. That's what you want to do. And for Yarde, he's got to follow that jab back in and throw the right hand over the top. That gives you the opening to unload those power shots.
He can be lightning sharp in clusters, Anthony Yarde. Bursts of power punches. Arthur, well schooled. Collyhurst and Moston Gyms provided so many fighters over the years, such great talent. And Pat Barrett in his corner, what a fighter he was. There's plenty of experience there. Tundi Ajayi, of course, one of the most popular figures on the domestic scene in Anthony Yarde's corner as ever. They're a real team. And yeah, you're right, Darren, they really fancy this.
Yeah, and that jab to the body is a good weapon for Yarde. You can see the low lead hand of Arthur. That jab being stabbed into the body, then an overhand right. Could be a very useful weapon for Yarde. I think the feints in between as well. I think he's got to fill the gaps, Arthur, with feints.
Got a shot there from Anthony Yarde and a good jab as well there. So if he can interrupt the rhythm of Arthur's jab, then that's going to be a real plus for Yarde, just to close that gap a little bit quicker and subtly.
That's the right hand from Yarde. He's a disruptor. He has taken big fights, sometimes a little bit early in his career. Right hand there, but he loves challenges. A lot of talk about inviting Joshua Buatsi. It's never yet happened. Big London derby. He's got to deal with Lyndon Arthur, and Arthur's got ambition of his own. Feeling good now under Pat Barrett. Sonny Edwards in the corner as well. They really feel Lyndon is the best he can be for this.
Good work. Just keep moving ahead, keep fading and keep fading and don't give him no room. Yeah? And when you're coming from the outside, use your double jab.
Okay.
Yeah? Excellent. Eyes, don't give him no room. Yeah? Be patient. Coming to the side. Okay. Good jab. Good back to the body. No, pull back to the body. Nice, man. When they exploded.
Corner! 10 seconds!
Good, man. Good, excellent.
Let's go! You're missing his jab already. Let's go!
Everybody's here.
Seconds out!
Derek
Round
Chisora.
2!
I think he suddenly realises on the big screen. He loves a big entrance, doesn't he, Del Boy?
He don't miss a trick, does he, Del Boy?
We saw Frank Bruno earlier. Remember, Chris Eubank Sr. is here. It really is set up for a fantastic clash between the sons, and it's coming up after this one. Anthony Yarde and Lyndon Arthur, fight number 3 between them. It's the 30th profile of Yarde's career, the 27th for Arthur. They're really seasoned veterans, aren't they? They're settled in their careers. It's just a case of maybe if one can nick a world title.
Yeah, he started nicely here, Arthur. Working nicely behind the jab, doesn't look flustered. It's a nice attempt at the right hand over the jab from Arthur. From Yarde. Just needs to be sharp with that jab, Arthur. Not afford to be sloppy with it. I do worry, though, where that comes back to, that jab.
Yeah, so like you said, it's 2 parts to a jab, isn't it? How fast it comes out, how fast it comes back, and he gets out there fast, but sometimes brings it back a little bit slow and low. And like a puncher like Yarde, that's an invitation you don't want to give.
Jab to the body from Yarde. There's Arthur coming back with his own. He's got good reach and leverage when he's flowing as well, Lyndon Arthur, just trying to get that range right.
And good feet. Just seen there, just sliding out of range, missing the double jab from Yarde.
And also pouncing on Yarde as well when Yarde made a bit of a mistake. I think that's important as well. You've got to make Yarde, you know, if he makes a little mistake or comes to the front foot too low, you've got to make him pay for that.
George Groves just walked behind us. Gordon Ramsay's here. Marcus Rashford. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? The amount of stars that have come out tonight.
It shows you the size of this event, and it's captured everyone's imagination. It really has.
It's waiting too long here, Yarde. I know he's well aware of the sharpness here of Arthur, but like they were asking for the corner, some more feints. The commits here, attacks, double up the jab, has turned the arse in the corner, and then just get that right hand into play. Again, hit him anywhere, just make him feel it.
A good feed again from Lyndon Arthur, and defence as well. Smart boxer. A cagey start that Arthur is doing okay here. And remember, he's coming off that 4-round defeat to Yarde. That's got to be somewhere up there.
100%, Adam. That would have been there from the moment that this fight was announced. He would have been in camp, remembering those moments.
Good round for Arthur. That's inside, but backstage, some chaos here. Well, we expected it, didn't we? There he is, Billy Joe Saunders, who we know is going in to overlook Eubank's hand wraps, of course, bitter rivals themselves as well. He's a mate of Conor Ben's. I mean, BJS can cause a storm in an empty room, can't he?
It's out of character, really. Surprised to see that.
Mayhem, as we expected, and there'll be more mind games and tricks.
Corners, 10 seconds.
And he was booted out, and they said he can't come in to watch the wraps.
Seconds out. Round 3.
He's getting some love from the crowd. Real character, Billy Joe Saunders. I want him in there, in the Eubank dressing room. What's going on, Darren?
You tell me, Adam. You tell me.
I wonder if Eubank will have more to add later. Will they keep us waiting? What's going to happen with father and son, the masters of the theatre, and the way that Chris Jr. has controlled the build-up absolutely to T.
To this point, I think Arthur will be quite happy because it hasn't been a frantic start that maybe you want from Anthony Yarde, like he certainly was in the second fight. So he's been quite safe. The jab's been working for him. He's been trying to react when Yarde's made a mistake, like he did in the last round with a couple of left hooks. So it's been a decent start. Nothing too much going on, but he'll want a calm fight.
This will suit him down to the ground, this pace of a fight. It's down to Yarde. He needs to up the tempo. That's good work. Left hook, upstairs, drop the right to the body. Needs to go again. It needs to be two-phase attack, sharp on the feet, sharp with your hands.
And that's sometimes Yarde's problem. It's cameos of class, but doesn't really follow it up. Sometimes can be a bit lackadaisical, and Lyndon Arthur is keeping his shape, and he will be happy with the way this is going. Yarde trying to inch closer.
Yeah, well, Yarde's obviously a puncher. It's a good left hook there from him. But I don't think he's not following through with the shots here at the minute. So they're snappy shots, but I don't think they're really heavy enough to really make Arthur panic yet. They like to seem to turn into the punches just that little bit more.
He didn't really turn the hip into that left hook. It was a nice scoring shot. It was more of an arm shot. He had an opportunity there, really rotated the body. Could have spun into a right hand.
Well, remind Arthur about the second fight. Remember this and make him feel something.
Yeah, but Arthur's jab's good here.
Good head movement there from Arthur as well.
Yeah, he's just getting in and out of range nicely. Decent defence.
I think these straight shots to the body are working better for Yarde. Just falling short of the jab upstairs.
This is more like the first fight than the second, that's for sure. But Arthur have slowed the pace down to his liking. It's just made him a little more in control here.
It's amazing how fights can change even when they've shared the ring for so many rounds before. the trilogy.
And there's been a lot of time since that second fight, let's not forget. You know, Arthur's been beat by Bivol, and Yarde's been beat by Bekabiev, of course.
Yep, they both need this victory badly here. Yet to really catch fire. Yarde tries to get the combination going. Arthur will be happy with that. End of the third. Let's go to Jamie with Nigel Benn.
Backstage with two-weight world champion, the great Nigel Benn. Nigel, you've just been in the dressing room. Not long to go now. Mentally, what sort of space is Conor in right now?
Conor's in a good space. You know, the nerves are going, but he's in a good space. You know, training hard. The 12 weeks that he's been training are all going to pay off tonight.
I'll ask you. Your rival, Chris Eubank Sr. in the house. What do you think?
I'm so happy that he's here. I wanted him here from day dot because it's a family affair. Without Chris, there's something missing. So him being here, you know, I mean, he loves the limelight. So how can he pass up on an opportunity like that? And I just pray that him and his son work things out, mate. I hope this is a new beginning for them both.
Just finally, how does Conor level the score for the Benns tonight?
We all see tonight. You lot ain't seen Conor for the last 2.5 years. I watched him spar with William Skull, Bruno, Denzel.
Lovely words from Nigel about his former nemesis Chris Senior being here, a family affair, and the four together. This is the fourth round, the round that Anthony Yarde undid Lyndon Arthur in their second meeting. But as Barry was saying, that was a while ago. A lot has happened since. Both are 33, and it's a really big stage for this one. The third time they fought in London, but by far the elevation to this ring show, the first inaugural one. Next week in Times Square, the second. That's Canelo in Saudi. What a week for boxing, and we've seen how Vidal Riley and Aaron McKenna have taken their opportunities, and now it's a chance here for one of these two.
Yeah, and he started well here, Arthur. I think he's in a nice rhythm, a nice groove, and I think it's down to Yarde to get going now. He needs to liven up, he needs to get busy, he needs to be sharper. Phase attacks, go again. There's a bit more urgency required. Look, it's still early, but I just feel you need to make Arthur wary. Make him feel the pace.
I think that is right. Arthur's a patient fighter. He'll wait for his opportunity to land, and he's happy for it to be a slow pace. He coasts at times, and that's an issue. So when you have a fighter like that, he might be technically good, and he might catch you coming in. You do have to make him work harder than he wants to work. I think that will either make him lose his shape, or he'll throw one shot too many, and then you've got him where you want him. I think that's the secret for getting inside Arthur at the minute. The pace and the threatening here from Yarde is just not enough for Arthur to panic.
Sonny Edwards clapping his man in the blue corner. Arthur, who's won 5 of his last 6.
Lovely left hook from Yarde. Took it well, Arthur. And again, that one more blocked.
You've got a jab now, you've got a double jab now, Arthur, that Yarde, and then feint with the jab, then use that left hook again.
Yeah, success with the left hand from Anthony Yarde. Arthur using his experience. He's been boxing well, only that defeat to Dimitri Bivol, but he did go the distance.
I mean, he needs to double up with the shots that he lands. He's struggling at times, Yarde. When he's landing that left hook, you can throw it again. If you land with the right hand, throw it again.
It's the left hand that has had success in the 4th round, but it looks like Lyndon Arthur will get through that session, unlike in their second fight.
And he's so naturally heavy-handed there, Yarde. He's hitting with the inside of the glove, he's hitting with the fingers, and still it's having an effect. That's good from Arthur, though.
Yeah, lovely left hook that was.
Interesting fight, this one. And a smile between the pair.
And trust me, he's just trying to nick it with little flicks. He's trying to nick it with little flicks. Don't pull back.
The knockout weekend bundle. Garcia Romero, Canelo, Skull.
Got to back him up with a
fabulous.
Yeah, that's all.
Made the second and third live on design. Tunde Ajayi in the corner. They've also brought Ruben Tabares in this time, the conditioners worked with David Hay and many others to try and just get the stamina better for Yarde and make him fight more in bursts.
And I spoke to Ruben on Thursday, and he's been impressed with his conditioning, been happy with the work he's put in camp.
Seconds
Gordon
out.
Ramsay,
Round 5.
just behind us. Big boxing fan. Great to see him. Anthony Yarde in those black trunks. 24 knockouts in his 26 wins. He's the power puncher in there. But Lyndon, a good boxer. Solid, strong. He's won 24 of his 26. Only 2 defeats. These are good fighters who've got an opportunity to really move forwards in this light heavyweight division. I think it's one of the best divisions in the world.
Yes, it's fantastic, it really is. So like you say, these two really have a chance to really throw themselves in the mix.
The body shots. And the division's going to explode wide open in a minute as well, I feel. You've got the 2 top ones there, and they're going to go again.
Well, we absolutely loved it, didn't we, when they went a second time, Potebiev and Bivol. We didn't want it to finish, and they will go a 3rd time. Callum Smith had a terrific win that night. He's very much in the mix.
Fantastic.
What a fight.
What a scrap that was.
Maybe Benavides, of course, now as well. You know, he's a real resurgence, and yeah, it's a fight division.
And we've all wanted to see Yarde and Buatsi, haven't we? It's never been made. One of those fights that's just got away. Could that be made?
Well, I'll tell you what, Adam, right now it could be Arthur Buatsi, because he's the one who looks more composed at the minute for me. He's having more success, Yarde, with that left hook of his. It's the feint. You can see when he throws the feint or looks to throw the jab, he looks to parry it with his right hand. Arthur, that's where the left hook can come into play. So you feint, then throw the left hook, but then he needs to come back with the right hand or double up the left hook. Just more urgency required.
And I think Tunde in the corner was saying don't lean back. I think you've got to try and slip that punch coming forward, that jab if you can. And this is just the perfect pace for Arthur. Again, he doesn't have to do a lot to win the round, just enough, and that's how he fights.
Barry, he's been out almost a year, and I wondered sort of what the ambition was and whether he'd be in tip-top shape for this one. But the team have been really confident. They've been saying when they get something, it's not like they've got to wake him up and get him out on the roads. He's doing it. He really wanted this, and he looks in immaculate condition.
But this is the sort of fight, you know, there's jeopardy for him because there's a guy there who's knocked him out. So, you know, he knows what he's up against. So he has to be as sharp as ever. There's a lovely 1-2 there from Arthur. And a little step back just to make sure nothing comes back his way. Boxing smart here.
Bit of a shuffle from Yarde, but not much substance. Apart from the odd left hand from Anthony Yarde. Arthur controlling this. Simple, technical boxing. And looking very, very good at the moment. Wow. The drone over this incredible Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is such a brilliant setting for boxing. And there he is, Chris Eubank Jr. The crowd, I think, are cheering. It's difficult to tell whether they want Eubank probably more than Ben, that he's warming up backstage. I mean, it's split, isn't it?
Well, I mean, opinions on who wins the fight certainly are split. Yeah, mixed emotions there, mixed boos and cheers, if you like, for Eubank.
I think with Eubank, people just almost want to dislike him without really knowing why. And I think when you hear him talk, I mean, sit down and talk properly about personal stuff and other, you think, you know what, I don't think he's a bad bloke.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad, Chris. He's an intelligent guy, but he's a very different operator when a camera is on and a fight's there to be sold, to be won, and especially with his arch rival.
Stop boxing, stop boxing.
A little bit like his father, eh?
pose a question here. I wonder if Yarde thought this would just be a formality, like a lot of people. Has he taken his foot off the gas? Did he think this would be a walk in the park? On the flip side, you'd have had someone like Harper who would have been training his socks off. He would have had that second fight in his memory, almost training scared, which is required at this stage in your career. And he's boxing so disciplined right now.
And also that war with Better BF, where he was tremendous, Yarde, in defeat, absolutely tremendous. But that 6 miles on the clock, underperformed in his last fight. Was that just a blip, or was that a sign of decline?
He didn't look great, did he?
He never, and that's one of the first times we would have said that about Yarde, to be fair. He's always looked really good.
Always exciting. Anthony Yarde trying to get his hands going. Arthur matching him just in front of us on these ropes. Into the 6th round, and I think Yarde's got plenty of work to do here.
I think so. I think he needs to punch off the slip, certainly with that right hand. I'd like to see him slip on the inside and throw the right hand, just smothering his work slightly here as he pushes Arthur back. This is where you skip either left or right, but Arthur won't mind this. Just gives him an opportunity to grab old Ty and nullify the work of Yarde.
And just touching with the punches there, Yarde. Not there though, that's better.
Good body shot from Arthur. And there's just a feel about the corner around us as well. Pat Barrett, Sonny Edwards, as if everything is going according to plan.
Well, he's boxing well, but there hasn't been no real danger except for a few odd big shots here from Yarde. But again, he's not really punching through with his body. There's weight in the shot, but not enough really to put you on the floor or hurt you. But he has that power. We've seen it before. So he's, as long as he's in there, he always has a chop.
Yep, he has dynamite in his fists, Anthony Yarde. Always been really entertaining. Great talker. Excellent fighter. Can he put it all together? He's got the world watching him tonight. Arthur looking strong and compact. Body shots as well. Right hand from Yarde back was good at the end of a round that he didn't win though.
Into the dragon.
That's what I want to see. Get out of it. That's it. Keep your eyes open and go. Yeah? You've done this.
Good work there to the body from Arthur. There was some deep breaths from Yarde. Just watching him in the corner there. Landing a good right hand there, but you feel it's the rhythm, the work behind the jab, the footwork is frustrating Yarde, who I feel just needs to get going, needs to liven up, needs to get busier. Stop roughing Arthur up.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Big smile through the gum shield.
Seconds out.
And fast out.
7.
Into the second half of this one comes Lyndon Arthur. And is he in the lead against Anthony Yarde? We feel that at ringside. I wonder how Carl's seeing things.
I have Lyndon Arthur 4-2 up at this stage. It could be 3 each, but I have him 4-2 up. I think his jab has been very good tonight. Just not having to do a lot to win rounds, but just doing enough to win the rounds. And I think Yarde, he's been criticised for this before. He's being a little bit lazy, maybe not doing enough. Now, the last round was a better round for Yarde, and hopefully that can continue for him. But at this stage, I have Arthur in front and boxing well.
Thanks, Carl. I've got Arthur in front in a slightly different way. That's the feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't really argue with that card. Fair assessment, but it was a better round, as Cole said, from Yarde. Start landing some better shots. Nothing really of note that hurt Arthur, but still something that he can build off of. A good round.
And what Carl said was right. Arthur just does enough to win a round. That's all. Just make sure he's a punch ahead of you. And also, he's also correct with Yarde just waiting for the opportunities to present themselves. Rather, in their first fight, he created those opportunities, and that was the big difference. And I think he's got to go back to that mindset. I have to look and create the openings by being busier.
3 wins, Anthony Yarde, since the Better BF defeat, which was A really good fight, wasn't it? 8th round, he lost, and absolutely no disgrace to lose to such an incredible fighter in Beterbiev. That was back in January 2023.
Even back then, but will age catch up with Beterbiev? We were saying that then, and we're still saying it now.
Well, he's just astonishing. Him and Bivol, absolutely fantastic, and they're above the other light heavyweights, but so many chasing, some great fights to be made. I wonder what Tunde will be thinking in the corner of Anthony Yarde.
Oh, shot.
That left hand is dangerous.
Oh, right hand there from Yarde. Chopped down with that shot there. It's just a different angle of a punch there for Anthony Yarde.
Yeah, better work from the Londoner. Needs to keep this going, keep this tempo now.
Good work here from the East Londoner. He's woken up a bit, Anthony Yarde. Just to look at his corner there, Lyndon Arthur, as he tries to get back to his jab, and Yarde says, that's not hurting me, I'm going to come through you. Willie.
But Yarde's taking himself too close, as Darren mentioned a couple of rounds ago, and allowing Arthur just to tie him up.
You can use the momentum here at times when you've got Arthur leaning on. Just take a little step back, then you can fire the shots through. Just allow that space. If you're not going to go backwards, you can go left, right.
Little push of the elbow.
Exactly that.
Staying strong, Arthur, popping the jab out, but Yarde has closed the distance. Beginning to impose himself. Good body work. Much better from Anthony Yarde. Ben Eubank fueling the fire on this big night.
This fight is going to be incredible.
I'm just glad it's actually happening now.
Conor Benn is a cheat, and he will be exposed.
He's not my cup of tea. You know, I won't be going for a cup of tea with him after the fight, that's for sure.
I don't see any strengths in Conor Benn. I see a man who cuts corners, who hasn't served his time in the sport, and who doesn't deserve to be here.
Yeah, his strengths are his experience, his size, and that's it really.
I'm going to exploit this boy's weak mind, and I'm going to take full advantage of that.
After this fight, the WBC World Title is the World Title I'd love to win, as my dad won it.
He had that support, and he did it all up.
This fight plays out with a stoppage.
The procedure will be parliamentary.
The arch manipulator, Chris Eubank Jr. Well, he's won every single press conference, no doubt about that, but will he win the fight? That's what matters. Good work from Lyndon Arthur here in the 8th round. This is heating up a bit now, isn't it?
Yeah, that was good, that 1-2 left hook on the back foot from Arthur.
Holding on as well. The glance on the referee, good work here from Arthur. He had a bad finish to the round, didn't he? He come out more positive here, Lyndon Arthur. And that's what you want to see from your fighter.
Right hand from Yarde, back he comes. He had a good last session. Cole gave him the round before as well. Yarde seemed to get into his groove, but Lyndon Arthur is standing and trading, which is interesting.
Yeah, look, there's been some deep breaths from both in the last couple of rounds. I feel someone's got an opportunity here to grab hold of the pace of this fight, and that really is soul-destroying to your opponent when you start upping the tempo.
40 knockouts between them as we're into the 8th, and clean shots are being landed
from Arthur.
Yep, surprisingly, Barry.
Yeah, you know, in the range that should be suited for Anthony Yarde here. That's a good right hander from Yarde. Again, he's still not turning into a shot, Anthony Yarde. He's just so naturally heavy-handed that they have some sort of effect, but they could be more effective.
I think Darren made a good point earlier. I wonder if just psychologically he took Lyndon Arthur slightly lightly after the way he got rid of him last time. And Arthur's a different beast here tonight.
And also, some of those wins that Arthur had, Ian Cameron, Suarez was a good one where he was winning that fight. They had a couple of real rocky rounds where he had to really dig deep, and I thought that helps you in fights like this.
The body shot from Arthur, big right hand back from Anthony Yarde, physically getting hard in there.
Yeah, just a little bit more room between the two. That right hand, he just managed to take the sting out of the shot. Lyndon Arthur just really leaned back on the rope, but it was still a good shot nonetheless. But fighting well on the back foot.
He certainly is. And the boys were right, he is tip-top in great shape. Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yarde, strong, robust, clawing this back. This is a close round.
This is taking more out of Yarde than his Arthur, for sure. You see Yarde using that rope, as Darren said, just a natural rhythm to evade shots here.
He threw the right hand too late there. He rolled under the left hook of Arthur. Oh, good left hook from Arthur.
Oh, and responsive from Yarde.
Beautiful combination from Arthur. Back came Yarde, and some of the best action of the 5 minutes. Tired looking Lyndon Arthur. Back to the blue corner. He was definitely hurt then.
Now listen to me, Lyndon. Please, listen to me. Hey, listen. You need to box them now.
Pat Barrett giving him the riot act. I think they want him to go back to his boxing.
Yeah, but I thought he had a good round. You know, he sort of made fire with fire a little bit, which is a little bit sharper off the mark there. As we see here with a nice right hand, left hook combination, beating Yarde to the left hook. And his hands here then, when the other one on the ropes having a bit of success, but then getting a little bit too close and smothering some of his work. We maintain that 3/4 distance there, Yarde, and take a little step to the side. He gets that uppercut into play. He can get all the levers. He throw that left hook through the middle. But I thought Arthur used the ropes really well. The upper body movement was good, and the body shots were really good there from Arthur. There's a sweeping left hook there to finish the round, and I thought a round that he won.
Second time, this is round 9.
Tundi really shouting at Anthony Yarde. Lyndon Arthur again up quickly and ready for battle. Getting that jab going. This is the 145th round of Lyndon Arthur's career. He won his first 19. Yarde won his first 18. These are top quality operators vying for supremacy. Certainly around the domestic light heavyweight division and maybe beyond. The WBA Intercontinental belt on the line. And more importantly, Darren, it's who's watching this. And the answer is everybody.
Yeah, look, the stage doesn't get much bigger than this. And a win over your rival can really push you in the right direction, but the confidence that it can give you. And I tell you now, Arthur will be happy. He'll be happy with this. Yarde, I still feel there's more to come.
So the AI judge, 77 to 75 to Arthur, pretty much spot on. Do we say?
I think that's a good score.
It's close, and there's 4 rounds left, so it's a fight there to be won. I think it's been a sort of strange performance against from Anthony Yarde. Whereas Arthur's just looked a little bit more organised, disciplined.
Yeah, but I just think that there's been more confidence in the work of Arthur. The jab's been more solid. I think, you know, it's starting to strike through a double jab. The second jab is harder than the first jab, and that's really important. He stepped through the front.
This is better work though, as he's got Arthur back onto the rope. Better movement. He's not just standing in front of Arthur, letting him grab hold and stopping the work. He's skipping side to side, and it's better.
His right eye, there's a swelling. Anthony Yarde, just have a look out for that.
A bit below with that body shot there, I think. Yarde.
That's right up close to Arthur, but Arthur's doing all right on the ropes, under the pressure, under the heat from Yarde.
Again, I still think he should double up with the right hand there, Yarde. Just throw it over the top twice, then you can drop down to the body, but I don't think you'll be minding this at all, Arthur.
I think Anthony Yarde's sick of the sight of Lyndon Arthur.
Yeah, this is a lot of pressure here, though, isn't it? But Arthur coping with it quite well.
Good work from both of them. Yarde with the uppercut. Both of them showing solid chins tonight too.
It looks like there's more pop in Arthur's punches, I would argue, in that little exchange there, for sure. Oh, good shot.
These are big punches, sort of cancelling each other out. Lyndon Arthur with a smile and a deep breath.
That's where we need to find a double bit here. Top to the head, top to the body. From above the body. Turn him. And when he's back on the rope.
It's an amazing setting. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium here in North London. Lifelong fan Finn O'Reilly got the win of his life earlier on tonight. We've seen Aaron McKenna win. We've seen Chris Billham-Smith win. Who is winning this? Is it Lyndon King Arthur? We just feel he's sort of nudged in front. Anthony Yarde, again, has been good at times, put the pressure on, definitely won rounds, but I think I'd rather be in Arthur's corner at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say so, Adam, but there was a look from Tunde. He just looked at Arthur as he sat down in that blue corner, and I just feel that he may be feeling his charge is just starting to force the pace, get on top and outwork Arthur. Can he build on that? A bit more urgency here. Backed right into the corner where we're sat. And still some good work on the back foot though from Arthur.
We'll see about that conditioning from Ruben Tavares and the team with Anthony Yarde, if he could just sustain a barrage, maybe really throw everything at Arthur.
And also, he didn't break Arthur down in the last fight, he just went through him. So this, Arthur's got plenty of resolve, so he's not as if like, oh, just wear him down. There's no proof of that.
Beautiful work off the ropes again from Lyndon Arthur. A lot from Yarde is hitting gloves and not quite connecting fully, but Arthur gets a combination in and it looks wonderful.
Yeah, look, and like Barry said in the previous round, it seems as if there's more pop in the shot of Arthur.
I think he's timing it better, but he has realised I have to be busy and push him back and really put the pressure on him. He's trying to do that, but Arthur's not being overawed with it. Nice and comfortable, you could argue.
Needs to take that right foot a bit further to the right and throw that right hand, Yarde. This is too easy, Adam, for Arthur at the minute.
A penny for the thoughts of the judges, though, at which style they're liking here in the 10th round. It's all-out aggression from Yarde. It's just countering, waiting. Smart from Lyndon Arthur.
He had an opportunity there, Arthur, just to spin and back Yarde into that neutral corner.
He's enjoying it on the ropes.
Yeah, he is.
But like Adam was alluding to, you've got to be careful you're stuck on the ropes, because from the other side of the ring, the other judge just seeing the other guy with his back to you working away.
Yep, the three judges all around the ring. The AI, of course, having Lyndon Arthur a couple up. Yarde has certainly put a lot into this 10th round, and Arthur's hardly moved from that spot.
Good shot there from Arthur. Right movement there that Darren was asking for off Yarde. He didn't let the punch go.
He really wants us, Lyndon Arthur. He's trained long and hard for this moment. And it's not just about revenge on Anthony Yarde. I think it's about making a name for himself on this sort of stage.
That was lovely there from Yarde. 1-2, step back and come back with the combination again.
Shaking his head, Yarde, in defiance. But who gets that round? Tunde with Anthony Yarde. Big clap for him.
And you're getting this round. Keep that same concentration when he's back up against the rope, yeah? Brilliant work. Excellent. Your time now, Anne, yeah? This is the round. All the work has been done. Keep it up.
When you dig into the body more, when you stop looking for the head, body, head, body. Finish back down. Don't look for one. If you're going to be there, boom, boom.
Ben Whittaker in the house. Frank Bruno, Fraser Clark's just come and given Darren Barker a big hug. They're all here tonight. Everybody wants to be Idris Elba, Marcus Rashford and Declan Rice having a little chat just behind us. Ben Shalom's there as well. He's sitting in between football royalty
legend, Frank Bruno, is...
Ashley Walters as well, don't forget them, him. Stole a chocolate bar off me earlier.
Did he?
No, I gave him his partner.
Won the ABAs in 1980. Frank Bruno at heavyweight. My dad won it at light flyweight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same one.
Now you've mentioned that, I gotta say, he was lucky against Rudy Pica from Wales. Man, I gotta say he was. He's a living legend, but Rudy Pica beat him that night. That's the end of that. Thanks, sorry about that.
Into the 11th round, back to the action. Enough of the glory days, boys. Lyndon Arthur being cheered by his corner. Anthony Yarde digging in the body shots. We're going to have a cracking finish here to this one, because it could be in the melting pot. Tottenham Hotspur believes this is Anthony Yarde's time, but is Lyndon Arthur up?
Well, I think Yarde was doing the right stuff, trying to push him back and work, but I'm not sure if it was having the desired effect on Arthur. Just sitting on the ropes doesn't mean you're exhausted, it just means you're comfortable there. I'm not a fan of it, but you know, some fighters like the fight off the ropes.
And look, it's never too late to make adjustments and try new things. And again, I still feel the movement has been massively neglected from Yarde. We've seen that he's happy to be here, Arthur, just leaning back, taking the sting out of the shots and firing back with his own shots. Look, don't get me wrong, he's having lots of success, Yarde, but I feel it because he could be having more by creating the openings.
I just wonder if this is catching the eyes of the judges. Anthony Yarde's work rate here with not that much clean getting through. Body shot back from Arthur. See, there's real quality.
This is
Arthur.
good.
But Yarde comes back at him.
He's digging deep though here, Yarde. You've got to give him his credit for that.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's almost, I'd say in this round, it's 4 or 5 to 2 shots. Every now and again, Yarde will throw the 4 or 5 shots and he'll come back with 2 of his own. So I do feel he's getting outworked here, Arthur, in this round.
And he's clever in that, but he's holding on the blind side of the referee. He knows what he's doing. He's really adapt.
It is good from Anthony Yarde late on in this light heavyweight battle. With attrition really now. Lyndon Arthur's boxed well at times. Yarde with those big left hands.
Block that left hook there, Arthur.
Arthur just looking a little bit disorganised. Yarde, is he breaking the resistance of Lyndon Arthur? 12 seconds left in the 11th round, and Arthur's in a bit of trouble here.
Body shot, I think, hurt him.
Needs the bell, Lyndon Arthur.
Big round this for Yarde.
Had to come back with that Arthur, but he was hurt by the body shot. And Anthony Yarde is back in this.
This is it. Yeah? Excellent. Back him up. Finish strong. Don't let him breathe. Yeah?
Tough round that for Arthur. He was quite comfortable for the first half of the first half of the round, I thought, against the rope. But that second half just seemed something made him dip a little bit. I didn't see it, but I think it must have been a body shot the way he bent over. Big deep breath there from Arthur, and Yarde showing a good engine at this stage of a fight for a big muscular puncher like him to really dig deep and let his hands go.
Wait! You won it! Hold on! You're giving it away. Honestly. Come on now, let's do it.
You're giving it away.
Seconds out!
Says Pat Barrett.
Final round!
And Anthony Yarde with a spring to his step. And the cards might be very, very close. It could come down to the final round.
Oh, just missing with a right hand there. Arthur trying to keep it long. Can he work? Can he build on that round 11, Yarde?
Well, Karma's given the last 5 to Anthony Yarde, so he's forged ahead, Lyndon Arthur. Couple of those close. Depends what the judges are looking for. Yarde has been the one who's really forced it, hasn't he?
The aggression. And it does stay in your eye.
Let's hear from Carl. Carl's card 3 up to Anthony Yarde.
And again, it's an old adage in boxing, quality over quantity, as always. Yarde's been the busier, some of the quality of the work. A couple of rounds ago, we're coming from Arthur against the ropes, but sitting on the ropes is always a dangerous game to play.
I want to try and get back to Carl if we can. Carl Frampton, come in.
Yeah, I have Yarde in front. We're all seeing it a little bit differently. I think there has been some close rounds which could have went either way. I've just been giving them the Yarde because of the aggression. I think that Lyndon is doing some good stuff from the ropes, but not enough of it for me. And I just think that Yarde is trying to win this fight more so than Arthur anyway. Yeah, it's kind of, I imagine his scorecards could be all over the place here, but at this stage I have Yarde up, and I also have him winning this round.
Thanks,
so far.
Carl. Totally agree that he's come on strong in these last few. The judges, well, it was a split decision win for Lyndon Arthur the first time they met. Last minute.
He's just upped the work rate in the last few rounds, Yarde. Whereas before, albeit Arthur was backed onto the ropes, he was just letting more shots go, more eye-catching shots, but the last few, he's just upped the tempo. Again, that's good work from Arthur, albeit on the back foot.
He's winning this down the stretch. I think Arthur was up, but these rounds for Anthony Yarde, and maybe it's hats off to the conditioning team of Ruben Tavares being brought in to get him through the sticky moments, and full credit to Anthony Yarde for doing it. Lyndon Arthur trying to stick with him. The odd pot shot, but it's not been enough from him.
Well, the biggest criticism for Yarde was always that he was a big puncher, but he ran out of steam, but he's shown a really good engine tonight.
It was a lovely left hook from Yarde, and back come Arthur with a right uppercut, the left hook of his own.
I tell you what, it's got better and better this. The last 3 or 4 rounds have been really good to watch. You sort of don't want it to finish, but you do, because you've got Eubank Peck coming out. Three fights. Souls been shared. And they will be mates forever. The beauty of the world of pugilism. Meanwhile, this is a rematch we can't wait for. Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen. After that controversy in a great fight in Riyadh, they do it all over again at the Copper Box, or will it be the Copper Bosch? May the 17th, DAZN. So much coming up throughout the next few weeks for boxing fans here. And who's going to get this? There's no real celebrations as Lyndon Arthur, they feel he's done enough. Sonny Edwards is clapping him, he thinks maybe, but it's tense, isn't it?
Do you know what? I do think this will split opinion. There was some really good work early on from Arthur, and even on the ropes in the later rounds, but then Yarde got to work. He was the aggressor. He was, as Cole says, forcing the pace and looking like he really wanted to win. So I can see there will be a bit of to and fro in here.
Who wins it for you, Barry?
Yarde might just be busy, I think, but it's a tight. I think it's a tight one.
And you, Darren, you wouldn't argue either way?
Nah.
Well, they've got their arms around each other. They could have a fourth fight. But is there going to be a victor here? Remember, it's one apiece between Yarde and Arthur. Has Arthur done enough late or not? Was it all Yarde at the back end?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge John Latham scores it 115 to 113. And both judges, Leszek Jankowiak and Giuseppe Quartarone, are in agreement. They both score it the same, 116 to 112. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now the WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Champion, Anthony the Beast from the East,